Hi, I'm Danielle Pena, and let's get right to it. The top 5 reasons you should not move to Atlanta. And make sure to watch to the end, as number 5 might just surprise you. Number 1, let's talk about allergies. Atlanta is very green. One of the reasons why we like it, actually. But we have lots of trees here, and trees produce pollen. And in the springtime, particularly April, pine trees produce this yellow mustardy pollen. And when the wind gets going in the spring, we have these giant yellow pollen clouds that just float freely through the air. It's really a sight to behold. And woe is the person who leaves their car windows down, who leaves their windows open in their house like we like to do, or forgets to put the top up on the convertible, as I have. And you'll just see a fine layer of yellow pollen everywhere for about a month. But what that pollen does is contribute greatly to people's allergies. I believe anything around 180 or higher is considered extreme pollen count. So in April in Atlanta, April and May, we regularly see pollen counts 2,000 plus. So just something to consider if you're an allergy sufferer. Number 2, getting around. Atlanta has one of the worst commutes in the United States, 42 minutes each way. That means you're spending an hour and a half on average in your car driving to and from work. So that is just something that you need to consider. Atlanta has not added any new interstates since I've lived here in 1996, and they're constantly doing construction work to try to improve the situation, which, only makes it worse in the interim. Atlanta has a lot of sprawl. Metro Atlanta comprises of 11 counties. So think about that, 11 counties. It is massive. So just getting from one side of, let's say, the suburb of Marietta, just getting from the east side of Marietta to the west side of the Marietta using the side roads can easily take 30 or 35 minutes, and that's in a suburb. But part of this problem has to do with the lack of a robust rail system. MARTA was developed in the 60s and 70s and is our rail system. And there were votes at the time about whether or not it was going to expand to surrounding counties, and it didn't. That's a whole other conversation. But what that means is if you live in the surrounding counties of Metro Atlanta and you want to, say, not have to drive down into the city to go to a football game or something like that, you actually have to get in your car and drive and then go to either a train station or a bus station and take the train down there. A round trip for a family of 4, it's $20. So why wouldn't anybody just get in a car, drive down there, park, spend $25, and then not have to worry the hassle of dealing with the train and the car at the same time? And then let's talk about the airport. Atlanta is the busiest airport in the world. And what that means for those of us flying out of Atlanta is that it takes a very long time to get through. Once you get on airport property and then make it into the actual airport, you're probably looking at 15 minutes just because it's so big. And then if you need to check bags at the check bag counter, that can take you 30 minutes or more on busy days. And then once you get through check bags, then you have to go through TSA. And on busy days, that's 45 minutes to an hour. Now you get through TSA and you have to get to your gate. And then because airport is so big, depending on where you are, you're going to have a 5 to 15 minute walk or plane train ride just to get to your gate. All of these factors contribute to poor air quality. Atlanta has one of the worst air qualities in the US. I think they're in the top 25. Number 3, we're landlocked here. We have no beaches. The closest beach is down South Georgia, and that's about 4 hours away. But if you want to go to a Florida beach, that's probably, given the traffic, 6 hours. And then, or you can go to the Carolinas, same thing, 5 to 6 hours. And then we don't have any, say, mountains really, so that we could go skiing. Number 4, the heat and the humidity. It really is humid here. I come from a city originally where we had humidity too. Kind of used to it when I got here, but Atlanta has like a little bit extra special. When you walk outside in the summer, especially in July and August, it's like putting a hot, heavy, wet blanket on you. And the temperatures average in the 90s in July and August. Ladies, if you do your hair and then you walk outside in the summertime during the humidity, within 5 minutes, you may as well just forget about it. Okay, that takes us to number 5. What people don't think about are the bugs and critters. And I'm going to talk about the more prevalent ones. We're all brave until the cockroach has wings. When I first moved to Atlanta in 96, I had an apartment down in Buckhead in the city. And I was in my living room and I look up on the wall towards the ceiling and there's a cockroach. And then so I throw a shoe at it because I can't reach it to knock it down, and I wasn't going close to it anyway. And I missed it. And so it proceeded to take flight and come at me. So I took off running down the hall while I'm looking back and the cockroach is flying at me. I ran into my bedroom and slammed the door, and I was a prisoner there. My life depended on it. So cockroaches and palmetto bugs love the humidity, which we've already talked about, and they come down out of the trees. They will get into your house. So just letting you know. Fire ants. I mean, if you've never stepped in a fire ant mound, if you move to Metro Atlanta, you will. I mean, it's just how it is. And I can only, there's no way to describe it except to say you have to step in one. And for some reason, kids just like to poke the sticks in it because like tempting fate, like they can't help but poke sticks in it. Then we have mosquitoes. Okay. Once the weather turns and the mosquitoes come out, they will eat you up. I have conversations with clients when we see a house that has a screened-in back porch and we're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing because now you can sit outside and not get eaten alive. I mean, this is a conversation I'm having with clients, especially those from out of state. And then we have lots of termites. Termites are a problem. They eat wood. You need to protect your house. I don't understand why anybody here owns a home and doesn't have a termite bond on their property. It's imperative. And then let's talk about snakes, right? So we have the Chattahoochee River right here in our backyard. There's lots of creeks and rivers that come off of it. And so snakes, especially copperheads, love to be close to water. So they will come out and they will come onto your property. They'll come in your driveway. My house backs up to a creek and my son's down there and I'm having conversations with them. Hey, before you go in the creek, make sure you poke the sticks to get the copperheads like away. Could you not? This is a conversation. And then, we'll see them come out. So just something to think about. So anyway, those are the top 5 reasons why you might not want to move to Atlanta. Contact me at any of the methods below if you have any questions. And please watch my video on the top 5 reasons why I think you should move to Atlanta.